Today we take a trip to a galaxy far, far away. Join me today as we look at Commander Neyo's helmet from Star Wars Clone Wars. See you guys inside. Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are exploring Clone Trooper, ARC Trooper helmets today. So specifically, this one is Commander Neyo's. So basically, we're going to print this guy, one piece, one solid piece, and yes, it is wearable. So we're going to get this guy printed. There's still a lot of work I need to do. This is the final of the print with all these spurs and stuff removed. I'll bring it up here a little bit closer. You guys can see, well, not really because the light is kind of blending it out, but there's a lot of great detail on this model. This model costs $0. It is on Thingiverse. And if you blow it up, now when I put the model on the build plate, I had to blow it up to 1200%. I was really scared of losing some detail, but I didn't lose any detail with this one. So this is the Mark 1. There's some flawing to it that I didn't like. So I'm doing a Mark II print right now. So make sure you subscribe because that Mark II print might come up in a time-lapse video of its own with some other Star Wars stuff. You never know what I'm gonna do on this channel. So let's hop over to Cura. We'll get this guy sliced, get this downloaded. I'll show you where to find it on Thingiverse. Then we'll get it back there on the printer, get a time-lapse, and then we'll take a look at this in more detail at the end. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button. Let us know we're doing a good job on these videos, that you enjoy these videos. And of course, if you can share the channel, I'd really appreciate it. The more we get out there, the bigger the channel grows, and that's more people we can help get cool prints like this off the printers that they buy. And if you have any questions about 3D printings or comments or want to see me print something, leave that comment down below. Let me know what you're wanting to see, what you're trying to print, and honestly, let me know what you're printing. So I'm kind of curious about that too. So let's hop over to Cura and let's get this thing sliced. All right, guys, here's the model. This one is Commander Neyo 91st BARC Trooper Helmet. All kudos to the model maker, Christhepropguy. This model, it's one model. It's all one piece, which is can be great if you've got a big printer. If you've got a little printer, good luck. You basically, what you got to do here is you got to take that file in the mesh mixer and break it into pieces. So if you got like an Ender 3 or something like that, you're gonna have to take and cut this with mesh mixer. I got a video out there on the channel. We'll put it up above here so that you can go do that if you do have the smaller Ender 3. If you'd like to see me do this with an Ender 3, comment down below. So I've already got the file pulled down, so let's pull up Cura. And when we open it, this is on a CR10 build plate. This is what we get. Itty bitty 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 bitty. Look at that. That's not even gonna work. So what we got to do is we got to make this model bigger. As I said, the best fit I found was 1200%. We'll get that up on a Z-axis. Now you notice it's not fitting. Well, one reason is my my raft setting is probably, yeah, that's what I thought. We're gonna knock that down to 3 so we have more build plate area. Then the second thing I did was I grabbed the model and I rotated it off center. Like that. And boom! All of a sudden it's ready to rock and roll. So I found out a few things as I was printing this. So I started this print once and it failed. Basically the build plate contact was a bunch of separate little bit of pieces, and that drives me nuts. I like it when my connection to the build plate is one solid piece. That's why I like rafts. Usually it connects it all together. But I also noticed here, and you'll see it in the final pictures, through here was very rough. This came out really jagged that I'm gonna have to buff down. So what I did, and I just went ahead and left it, is I added in a bunch of custom supports to kind of make that a bit stronger, as you can see here. Especially here in the front. There's some that we don't need. That kind of just got in there, and that probably just locked up the program. Yeah, oh, what just happened? Okay, here we go. So you can see I've got all these custom supports to help support the helmet, but also get these pieces together. So when we slice this, you guys will see what I found here. So I also did this at 100% infill, but I also upped my wall count. Usually my wall count is very thin, Usually I'll do it around 2. I upped it to 6 for this one to just give the walls a lot more strength, because there really isn't any infill into the model, as I'll show you here. The walls were built thin, but it was also meant to be 1200% smaller than what I've actually made the model. So it's kind of one of those things you got to keep in mind as you're slicing this. Now, do you need to do all this? No, you don't have to. Do you want to see how to do it? It's this, well, I'm slicing, so I can't do it on this one, but we'll hop over to the other one. And it's this button right over here. And I usually do the circular, and then I just click them onto the model at an interval. And this will help, you know, this creates more contact points to the plate. And as you guys will see, it will, especially right here, you got this kind of unsupported buildup. So if we can support it better, that's awesome, which is what adding those is doing, is it's helping support that. So hopefully we don't get as jagged. Now, of course, you have where the support connects on, but that's a lot better having to buff that off with a file or something like that than trying to deal with a lot of blobbing and stuff like that. That looks like over extruding, but it's just honestly the model kind of moving to the printer. So let's hop back over. This should be slicing. Oh, it's still slicing. I do remember this took a long time to slice, because basically each one of these custom support is a new model added to the single model. So that kind of makes the game, yuck. And I accidentally put one. Where did you come from? Oh, it's going to mess it up, but I got to get it out of there. Delete. Slice. But basically what adding these supports into gives more contact points to the plate. So it's actually going to make our raft kind of draw out to each other, which is a really good thing. So basically the raft starts going around and makes a big circle. Now granted, the center point in here is going to have its own island of a raft, but that's okay. I don't like the center pillars. Sometimes they are needed, especially as you start getting up here into this dome like this. That upper piece can be quite helpful. So kind of one of those things. Support, I did at 80%. I didn't need a lot of support. My raft, I did very small because I've got a lot to get into the build space. So my support overhang on the actual model that we're slicing is only 80%. So this is the actual final product model. So let's scroll down here. So raft, I did at 3. Actual support overhang angle is at 80. Remember, the higher you go, the less you get. So kind of keep that in mind. Infill is 100%. My print speed I did at 50. My infill speed I do a little bit faster. I don't really care if that globs. Make sure you got your Z-hop and your retraction. So my Z-hop speed is at 5. Let's see here. Print temperature, I'm using Inland PLA White Plus. And I get a really good print temp at about 215. And for me, the build plate works great at 50 on the CR10 V2 that I'm printing this with. So kind of keep that in mind. Everybody's build plate's different because we're all in different climates. Mine's down in a basement. Yours could be up on the second floor where it stays hot. You may need a little extra heat, may not need as much heat. I do use the Creality glass bed, so kind of keep that in mind as you go through. Infill density is at 100%. There's not a lot of infill on the model, so kind of just scroll through the rest of my settings. My wall count is at 6. So, and my initial layer is at 0.15, or my layer height is 0.15, and my initial layer is 0.3, so a bit thicker. So, there we go. This guy is going to take forever slicing, so I'm not going to show, but it's going to put a tower here in the middle, and then that ring will build around here to help out. So, that's the model. That's how I got it to print to where it would fit my big head, which is really nice because I got a big head and it sucks getting some of these to fit. So let's get over there. Let's get the Mark 1 printed. If you guys want to see the Mark 2 in like a YouTube short or something, let me know. And I can also do that, but let's hop over to that time lapse. All right, guys, that's it. So it was a nail biting print, I won't lie. This one took about 4 days to do, this Mark version 1. I was a little disappointed. The walls seemed quite thin, so the Mark II, I thickened up my wall count to try to make this thicker and a bit stronger. It kind of got some flimsiness to it that I'm not happy about. And there were some detail flaws, especially here on the bottom. I added additional supports, which you saw me do in Cura, to make this hopefully print better and not have the globs. Now granted, I can take a file and really smooth this down, maybe a little bit of Bondo to kind of thicken it up in some spots to get it really smooth. But all in all, it's a good print. Because I know someone is selling a similar model of this out on Etsy for $20 just for the model. When if you take the time to look around, you can find really good models of similar equivalent out in the internet for free. Now some models you're not going to find for free, which kind of sucks. But you know, this one is a good model, painted up, bond, maybe filled in to smooth it out. Fill it, maybe add some grommets here so it looks like you could add the hosing and stuff that kind of they had. And of course I've got to cut this out. I'm actually going to go back and look at the original model and see if I can actually just take this out. So, but all in all, wearable helmet? Yes, we can. So just so you know too, I printed this on a CR10 V2. That is pretty much my go-to printer. I love the Ender 3s. The CR10 V3 is in my shop. The original CR10 V1 is in my shop. But the CR10 V2s for wearable gear, I highly recommend. And that one's from Creality, guys. So I thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.